Hello fellow fantasy and sci-fi fans, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the next episode of the Sentinel of Zellarin. This is my science fantasy story. In the last episode, Heaven and Garvenon discussed Daria's future as if she isn't there. Apparently the traditions on Zellarin do not allow children to interfere in the conversation between adults. I'll continue now with Daria's story. Cause I'm Daria. 3, 2, 1. Action! Garvenon gave us 2 backpacks. One was for me, very small, made of 3 dragon skin. It was for the pentapod pawn. He was still asleep when I gently put him in the backpack and carefully put it on. He would probably sleep all day. Heaven lifted his heavy backpack and put it on. Thank you for the jerk meat, old one. Don't mention it, Garvenon answered. I will soon make another. Kienti hunts regularly and we always have a surplus of meat. Heaven nodded. Garvenon, he said seriously, I will bring your oldest son to you so he can inherit the star. Heaven, you don't understand. Garvenon is a bad man. He is the right hand of the Emperor. There is no hope for his soul, Garvenon whispered. Heaven said nothing. However, if you can free my son Darvenon, I will be forever thankful. Free him from where? Heaven asked. The Emperor exiled him in one of the working camps. But there are hundreds of working camps, Heaven exclaimed. I know, this is the problem. Heaven sighed. I can promise you anything, but I'll see what I can do. Darvenon, right? Yes, he has a big round scar on his cheek. Heaven looked at Garvenon. I can feel your pain when you speak about him, he said softly. Let nature bless you with good health, old one. Heaven hugged Garvenon. I was touched. They stayed like this for a couple of seconds. Farewell, Garvenon, I said, putting my hand on his shoulder. This was a standard Zellarian gesture for greeting and goodbye. Farewell, young one. Good luck in Coron. You're the strongest mathematics wielder I've ever seen. I'm sure that a noble clan will adopt you. Don't worry, the old lionman said. I could see the tears on his face. They weren't because of my departure, but for his son. I didn't know what to say. I wanted to comfort him, but didn't know how. So I hugged Garvenon as well. We stayed like this for a couple of seconds. Take care, Garvenon, I whispered. Heaven waved with a tail, and we approached the 3-dragon Kienti. Our weapons levitated behind us. Let nature bless you too with good health, shouted Garvenon behind us. Kienti, let them pass. The 3-dragon lifted her body on her long limbs and we passed under her. We had reached the neighboring tree's gargantuan stem when the mighty reptile's 2 tails lifted me and brought me to its mouth. Before I could scream, Kienti licked me a couple of times and put me again next to Heaven. She really liked me. After the heartfelt goodbye with Garvenon, we continued with fresh forces. The forest was so serene and beautiful. It was a majestic place that was as if it had been painted. The colors were so vivid. The mega trees ruled over the space-time. As far as my sight went, rose colossal trees with giant branches and twigs that supported so much green. The Zellarian leaves smelled fresh and gave the forest a delightful aroma. It was a pleasure for the senses to be here and experience all this beauty. I was never good at descriptions, but imagine a little fairy in a fairy tale forest. That was exactly how I felt. The beauty of the Zellarian forest can fool you into forgetting how dangerous it is. Here you can die in countless ways. You must be constantly alert in this forest, otherwise, goodbye. Of course, it was good to have a mighty lionman and a magical sight by your side. Today I wasn't focused. I couldn't. As the day went on, I grew angrier and angrier. Heaven pretended that nothing had happened. Maybe for him it was nothing. It was noon when I abruptly stopped. Heaven, we need to talk, I declared. Later, when we are taking a break. The lionman didn't stop. After some time, he realized that I wasn't behind him. What in the name of nature is so important that you want to talk about, huh? He came back and put his hands on his waist. Is that why we are going to Coron? To leave me there? Yes, you have a good life with such mathematical skills. Don't lie to me, I raised my voice. Till today you didn't know I was so good at mathematics. The strongest mathematics wielder. Lower your voice, young one. I have saved your life so many times and have gifted you a magical battle sight which have saved your life the other half of the time. You owe me big time! Oh yeah? Is that all about? I am your slave and you can do anything with me? I shouted. No! Heaven shouted back. I see, you wanted to sell me in Coron. Only now you raise the price because I am such a strong mathematics wielder. Heaven remained silent for a second with mouth half open. Have you lost your mind? Of course not! Then why are we going to Coron? Don't lie, I warned him. Heaven's tail was nervously rocking left to right. We're going there to find a glory, he finally said. I think you meant glory, but how are we going to win this glory? I don't know about you, but I am not particularly heroic. Heaven broadly smiled. This is no speech error. There is a difference between glory and a glory. I shook my hand in disbelief. So what is a glory? A glory is a flying triangular platform made from rust. This is the green metal. I know, interrupted him. Like our weapons, he continued, it's magical, but it can fly far much better, faster and higher while our weapons are bound to us. And you can control this thing? I doubted. The lionmen smiled even more broadly. Absolutely. Why do you want to leave me in Coron? I asked. To have a better life. When I saw your mathematics skills, I had this idea. The brilliant idea to leave me with folks I don't know, I added sarcastically. You don't know me either, Heaven countered. You don't understand. I'm a wanderer. This is not a life for a kid. And this is not a life for a wanderer. I'm sorry to say this, but you are a burden to me. I must constantly watch over you or something will eat you. I lowered my head. I understand. I'm truly sorry, Daria. I didn't want to offend you. But it will be better for you to stay in Coron. I don't want to, I shouted. Heaven shook his head. You kids are always like this. I don't want to, I want to, I don't want to, I want to. Believe me, it will be better for you that way. Heaven, stop treating me like a child. I didn't want to tell him that I was an adult human who traveled through a black hole and awoke here as a lion girl. But you are a child, Heaven exclaimed. I folded my arms. Look, Heaven, the Golden Pyramid said I must follow you. If there's any chance to find the truth about my past, I thought for a moment, and my future, I added, is you. I don't know how I can help you with this, Daria. Me either, but I intend to follow you. Great, I'm going that way. The lionman turned and began walking. Heaven, we aren't done, I shouted. The lionman didn't answer. He jumped on the stem and after short climbing sideways soon vanished from sight. I was mad. I clenched my hands into fists. You arrogant son of a... I ran to the stem and after my fastest climbing sideways caught up with Heaven. What is your connection to the Golden Pyramid? Long story, I'll tell you some other time. Let's go now. I went in front of him and spread my arms obstructing the way. No! Tell me now! I demanded. Heaven raised his hand. You know, Daria, if you were a man I would beat the crap out of you. But don't push your luck. Move out of the way. He stressed every single word. I hesitated. I didn't know anything about this world or its inhabitants. I could feel I was in big trouble, but I didn't want to give up. I'll move out of the way, but you must promise something. Heaven's sight could burn a hole in me. I'm all ears. Promise me that you're not going to leave me in Coron. The lionman laughed out loud. You've got everything wrong, young one. I can't make you stay in Coron if you don't want to. I'm not a tyrant. Your life is your life. I just strongly recommend you to stay in Coron. That's all. Understand now? I was ashamed. I only nodded. Then I made a very stupid mistake. I should let Heaven go first, but instead I turned and began walking. Daria, wait! I heard Heaven say, but it was too late. 4 tentacles were coming at me at an unimaginable speed.